Alright, here we have a 2005 Subaru Legacy. We're going to show you how to replace your high and low headlamp in case one burned out. We're going to actually do it because we want to upgrade to the Sylvania Silver Stars bulbs. They're actually 50% brighter. They let you see 40% farther out and actually 50% side to side of the road. So the H7 on the left there is your low beam, the 9005 is your high beam. So in this video we're going to show you how to replace them or install these upgraded bulbs. Alright, first we're going to start with the driver's side. Tools you're going to need are a flathead screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, and a pair of needle nose pliers. We're first going to take the Phillips screwdriver, loosen this push pin here just by giving it a little twist. We'll take our flat screwdriver next, pull up on the tab a little bit. Once you got the tab up, you can take your needle nose pliers and remove the tab the rest of the way. Next, with that push pin removed, you should be able to flex the washer bottle fill out of the way. Alright, once you have your washer fill moved out of the way, you'll notice a gray housing in here. You just want to grasp that, turn it towards the driver's side. It'll unlock, slide out. It does say lock, unlock. It also has top, so you want to make sure you pay attention when you're reinstalling that. We'll set that out of the way. I'll move the camera to a better angle just so you can see how the bulb is actually removed. Alright, so when you remove this gray cover, this is what it's going to look like. There's your connection for the light bulb, and there's your spring to hold it in position. So first you want to disconnect the lamp. Alright, so we remove the connection. Next you see this little spring right here. You just want to press down towards the front of the car, and then down towards the bottom of the car, and it'll release off the little hook, swing it out of the way, and then you can remove the bulb. Alright, and remove the bulb. Scratch the back of it, pull it out. Be careful not to touch the glass on the new one as it shortens the life of the new bulb. You don't want to get the oils from your fingers on it. So we'll unpackage your new bulb and install it. Alright, so we unpackaged our new bulb. As you can see in the inside, right where the tip of my finger is, there's a little notch. The new bulb comes with a little notch right there. Those two have to line up when you're reinstalling it, so it'll sit flat in the housing, and that spring clip will hold it in position. Like I said, make sure you don't touch the new bulb with your fingers. The oils from your finger will reduce the life of the bulb. So we'll slide it in. We'll make sure those two notches line up. Get it flat to the housing. Slide our spring clip in. Push it down towards the bottom of the car, and then up towards the top. Make sure the bulb stays in there nice and tight. Next we'll reconnect our wire. And then next we'll reinstall that gray cover. That'll make it watertight so no water gets into our headlamp. Alright, next we're going to reinstall that gray cover. We're just going to slide it in. Make sure those little tabs line up. Twist it a little bit till you hear it click. And we're going to twist it all the way and snug it up to the housing. And with that done, we're going to move over here to our high beam and replace that. Alright, so now that we got the low beam done on the driver's side, we're going to move on to doing the high beam. First you want to press right here on the very bottom of this. It's a little squeeze clip. It'll undo the wiring off the bulb. You might want to use a flat screwdriver if it's a little hard. Next we'll just grasp the bulb, turn it counterclockwise, and then just wiggle it out. It should pop right out. So this is our high beam, so this is the 9005. So we're going to unpackage the new bulb and install it. Same with this bulb, you don't want to touch the glass with your fingers as the oils reduce the life of the bulb. Alright, so we unpackaged our new bulb. As you can see, the bulb has three little tabs sticking out of it, just as the housing does. So you have to line these up to get the bulb to go in. So we're going to line them up, push it in, and we're going to give it that twist. You'll hear it click. Next we'll reconnect our wiring. So you hear that click and lock into position too. Alright, now with our high and low beam reinstalled into our headlight assembly, we're going to move the washer tube back to its original location. Line it up with the hole, reinstall our push clip. Push down on the other part, make sure it's snug, and then we'll move on to the passenger side and change those high and low beam. Alright, for the passenger side, we're going to need to remove this air inlet for the air box. We're going to remove these two push pins, kind of the same thing we did on the other side. Use the Phillips screwdriver, twist them loose. You can grab them with the needle nose if you have to, or you can use them by hand. Twist out the second one. Undo that. With both those removed, you should be able to pull it towards you a little bit, wiggle it out, and remove it. Alright, with the air inlet to the air box removed, you'll see that it looks the same as the driver's side with the gray housing. and your high beam right there. So we're going to remove that gray housing by twisting it towards the driver's side. Give it a little wiggle, it should pop off. We'll remove it, set it out of the way. Next we'll undo our wiring like we did on the driver's side, undo our little spring clip here, and remove the bulb. Alright, so we removed the old headlamp. We got our new one unpackaged. We want to make sure this tab lines up with the little slot that's in the housing. So we'll go ahead and reinstall our new bulb. Make sure those tabs fit together and the light bulb goes securely to the housing. Once you got it in position, move the spring clip into position to hold it there. We'll latch the spring clip in, make sure the bulb doesn't wiggle. Then we'll reconnect our wiring. And then we'll work on reinstalling the gray grommet shield with the O-ring to make sure that no water gets in our headlight. Put it in. Twist it back towards the passenger side of the car. Make sure it locks into position. And that's it for the low beam. Now we'll move on to the high beam. Alright, next we'll move on to the high beam. We want to disconnect the wiring by pressing the little clip, wiggling off it, sucking it down out of the way. Next we'll rotate the bulb towards the passenger side. Then we can wiggle it out. Same thing, when replacing this one you don't want to touch the actual glass with your finger, as the oils will make the life of the bulb shorter. We'll unpackage our new one and install it. This is the 9005. Alright, so we unpackaged our new bulb. This one still has the 3 tabs, so we got to make sure they line up with the 3 tabs that are in the headlight housing. We'll go ahead and reinstall the new bulb, line them up, make sure it's flat to the housing, give it that twist, lock it in. We'll reconnect our wiring, and that finishes installing the high beam. We already did the low beam, so we're going to reinstall the air inlet for the air box. Alright, next we're going to reinstall the air inlet for the air box. You want to make sure this tapered edge slides nicely down into that. Just line them up. It should slide into position like that, nice and easy. Next we'll line up our 2 holes with our push pins. Reinstall the push pins. Click them in. 1. Do the other one. 2. Once you have your air inlet for the air box reinstalled, that's it. You just installed the high and low beam on the passenger side and driver side of your 2005 Subaru Legacy, whether one was burnt out and you needed to replace it, or because you wanted to upgrade to the Sylvanias like we just did.